So human beings must understand that you cannot live in a post-truth society, in a fact-free society where there are alternative facts, because there are things coming, as I was telling you earlier, as I have always predicted, you guys. I've given you years of predictions, okay? There are things coming that require you to be reintegrated into your fullness of who you are as a human being. And because of the things that are coming, you have to be able to have discernment. You cannot continue to be creatures who espouse or who are taught to become a part of cults of personality. Cults of personality that exist in religion, cults of personality that exist amongst your billionaires, millionaires, and trillionaires that are to come. Because the things that are coming have existed and are simply going to return in a way in which if you are disconnected from self, you're still living through and living out and walking out and following the slave protocol. Like I told you guys, human beings as a whole were enslaved, and human beings were hobbled as a whole, and human beings were put into time blindness. They were de-educated. They were disconnected from reality. And you do that through eliminating and twisting history. They were literally, if I may go back to the cave metaphor, turned around to a cave wall, chained down into that cave, and not allowed to understand that reality actually existed beyond the cave, and that the cave really wasn't the fullness of their reality, and that so in the end, when they give birth in that cave and they create future generations, they're creating future generations who are enslaved to that cave, which is a very limited form of understanding. And if you can put a human in that state, you can run scam after scam after scam after scam, because those cave dwellers, they don't know reality. They don't know that you are injecting things into their perception, their limited perception, that is causing you to be able to hijack them and then to enslave them to whatever purpose that you have. That's why I have taken the time to put up this graphic about adrenochrome and to address the fact that human beings have got to deconstruct, because there is a growing probability that there is something coming. And that thing that is coming, it will tell you that it is your God, that it is here for you, and that unfortunately, that not being connected with your intuition, not being able to recognize a truth from a lie, is going to horrifically harm humanity. So what you have to then begin to do is this process that I have explained time after time, because right now you are beginning to realize that, hey, whatever is going on, it cannot be the truth. And that's why people were really apt to believe in the lies of QAnon and in adrenochrome, and because it's all just misdirection, to misdirect you away from the truth about what really was going on, and it gives you something to buy. It's like religion. Religion is a control mechanism, and disconnecting you from yourself. Capitalism teaches you not to listen to your intuition, teaches you to live by a clock. You got to constantly be earning, and your value is only based in what you can earn, when that is not true. And human beings under the current systems, and I told you, all the systems are built off pyramid schemes. They're extorting you at every level. And it's got human beings locked into a belief that extortion and harming others, hate and fear is the only way that humans can create continuity for themselves and security. So I've talked to you guys about this before, and I've told you that human beings have to stop thinking that they have to harm others, commit genocide, that they have to pass the pain of doing the labor that is required to exist and to live to other people, so that they do a minimum amount of work, all while oppressing the masses who are doing the majority of the work. They're the core laborers. They're the workers in society. Instead of, and what I've been explaining is that you cannot live like that anymore. Your desire to survive, like human beings' desire to survive, has put them in a position of being having to do or believe that they must do whatever it takes, whether it's killing, stealing, or destroying, committing genocide, unaliving others, enslaving others. That desire to create continuity, right, in a world that is full of cataclysm and things that they cannot control, has put people under a false impression, a lie, that they must enslave, that they must oppress, that they must kill, steal, and destroy, or those things will be done to them. And so in an effort to pass the pain of existing to others, they enslave workers. So you'll have the ultimate pyramid scheme, the 1%, the 1%, which is even above the investor class. People haven't realized that. The 1% being above the investor class, who they exploit everyone else. And the truth is that the world, all of that, the reason why your reality seems like a simulation, right? And it seems unreal, is because human beings have adapted themselves to exploiting each other in order to survive. And so if you want to reverse the upside down, go watch my videos. I've got it on my YouTube, and it's those black videos with the card that's spinning with the earth, because that's a whole metaphor that I should talk more about. But I'll keep it simple here, just using Plato's cave allegory, and then kind of, I guess, nursing this to a conclusion. But if human beings don't change, you're on a direct collision course with being knocked down into literal cave dwellers again, who have to paint their history on a cave wall so that people knew that they existed. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose your advancement. Too many people have died who have been sacrificed for the progress that is had at this time. So anyway, I think I'll end it there, and talk more about this at a later date, because it's really, really late. And this podcast After Dark was not supposed to go on as long as it has. It's like been an hour and a half now. But I think it's really, really important that people have to realize that reality is more expansive than you think. And when people come to you and they are trying to rescue you out of the cave, as I was saying with Plato's cave allegory, you cannot enter into cognitive dissonance. You have to enter into the process of critical thinking, because that critical thinking is the thing that you need that is going to save you from being roped right back in to self-destruction or full-on enslavement for all of humanity. So anyway, I'll end it here. Maybe I'll add some more discussion, but I think this is a good way to end it.